What up, YouTube? It's your boy DJ Skandalous, and this is another motherfucking vlog. Cut! What up, YouTube? This is your boy DJ Skandalous, and we're back with another fucking vlog. No, I don't think I can use that one.
I'm built for it, nigga.
Oh man, that intro was so fucking corny. You don't know how many times it takes me to do an intro. I gotta cut everything together, and I never liked the way my vlogs come out because I'm always editing everything. But you know, I'm just gonna wing this one here. I don't care if it's gonna be choppy or not, or I'm gonna mess up. So last stream I did, it was around probably 45 minutes. I did like a Q&A question on my YouTube, and then I followed it with music. One of the questions I got was, how do I feel about the MGK, Eminem, diss tracks and the Kamikaze album? Now, I didn't really do a review on the album like I do with most of my Tupac albums, where I break down the whole album, and I could have did that right after the release, and it probably would have got a lot of views, but I didn't want to jump on the hype train. So I just wanted to do this type of review over how I feel the way that hip-hop is going to be affected by this diss. As you may know, like, hip-hop since like the year 2010 has been very dumbed down, and a lot of people think that's probably the whole teeny boppers and everybody that just don't really care for a musical message or anything like that. But I think the direction of hip-hop's been going this way for a long time because executives in suits and ties at record labels, they don't want rappers being influential like Tupac or Biggie or Nas was, or even Eminem with his inspirational type messages and like Not Afraid. So I think like they start pushing out rappers that were not as, I don't want to say not as intelligent, but didn't really care about their musical message, didn't really care to make an impact, didn't really care to spread a message to the communities and make a change. So I think hip hop, you can consider that like the Illuminati or not, but I think they focused on, party like tracks. They focus on, very fast songs that repeat the same words that can't really make a listener come to a change in their life and do something impactful. So I think with Lil Pump, Lil Uzi, you see a lot of messages in their songs that are just about partying, just about popping pills and everything, because these record labels wanted to put these rappers out there that don't have really much skill, that need ghostwriters, that just rap about the same stuff over and over again. So there's not probably a big disturbance in the landscape of hip-hop. I think eventually Eminem got tired of the way the hip-hop was going, because when he came up, he focused on making music with a message, whether good or bad, rapping about his mom and her Haley and everybody, and killing people, but they still were lyrical songs. And back in the 90s, you had to have a lyrical message. You got to have lyricism to really get big. You just couldn't be like Vanilla Ice or MC Hammer and just repeat the same word over and over and over again, because you see how those guys were just one-hit wonders because they couldn't really write their stuff and come out with positive content that was lyrical at that time too.
I remember a time in hip-hop where you had to be so different from the next person or you were trash. There's a shift somewhere that happened that if it doesn't sound like everything else, then it's trash automatically.
So you had rappers like Eminem, you had rappers like 50 Cent, Ja Rule. They were still lyrical when they came out after Tupac, and they still got big because they focused on lyricism, they focused on beats, they focused on messages as well. So after that, music started shifting towards a catchy beat and a catchy hook, and that's all it really was. So I think the whole MGK feud with Eminem is really great for hip hop. I don't know if it's staged or not. I said this in my stream, it could be staged. At that time, he said something about Haley when she was like 16 years old. And Eminem took offense to that. I think any father would take offense to that.
One day, you go down the fucking wormhole of YouTube and whatever, right? So I see Machine Gun Kelly talks about Eminem's daughter, whatever, right? So what the fuck? Click on it. Like, yo, why is he? Then he starts doing a press run, basically, about Haley. I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, my man better chill.
But the real weird thing about it is that Eminem waited 6 years to really come back with a diss about MGK. Now, I'm not sure if his stage, if he felt bad that, where he, blackballed him from Shade 45, now he wants to make amends or help out his career. Because, as you know, just being on Eminem's album isn't really going to help out anyone's career, because we've seen with D12, we've seen with Slaughterhouse, they didn't really get too big that Eminem would have hoped for. So I think, maybe if it was planned, maybe they did plan, to have a diss battle and to make themselves more relevant than what they are, maybe help out his career, and maybe force lyricism back in the hip hop world. Now, as you may know, a lot of people say, oh, well, Eminem dissed, Machine Gun Kelly out of blue. But if you go and you check that Tech 9 song, you can see parts of it where it's really kind of like a diss where he mentions Dr. Dre and the doctor and everybody.
Only one option. You gon' need a doctor. I ain't talking about the one from Compton. Arms, feet, legs all gone like I'm Don Corleone.
So, and there were other instances where, if you listen to Eminem's Shade 45 interview, here's a clip of it right here.
Then when you get on Tech 9's album and you start sending shots, and people start hitting me up, yo, Machine Gun dissed you, he just dissed you, he dissed you. I'm like, I listen to it, I'm like, did he really diss me though?
What the fuck's wrong with you Pop-Tarts? I pop cherries and pop stars, your popsicles is not hard. Popped in on the top charts at the cop card, so remind y'all, you just rap, you not God.
I kept listening to it, y'all just rap, you not gods. And then somebody sends me a screenshot of his Twitter. And it says, had some shit to get off my chest, you just rap, you not God.
So you see, this has been ongoing for several years where MGK still talks about Haley, and I'm not sure why he's doing that. Maybe he was just, a fan of Eminem's music and he just thought she was beautiful. Now, being a overprotective father, I don't feel bad that Eminem, blackballed him from Shade 45, because he owns that he can do whatever the hell he wants with his, his radio show. But back to the main point, I think Kamikaze is a great album because, a lot of people complained last album, Revival, that he was too soft, that he was too, making music with singers and white women. But that's where you get in a whole big discrepancy, because even if he didn't do that, people say, oh, he can't be Slim Shady, he can't be rapping about killing people, because he's 46, 45 years old, he shouldn't be doing that anymore. So what do you expect him to do? You just expect him to, go away and never rap again? If he loves music, he should continue making music. So I don't think he can please everybody, but I like that he finally decided to respond to his critics and really tell people, his side of things. If he says someone's name, it blows him up. If they say his name, it doesn't really do nothing for him.
It makes that person as irrelevant as people say I am in hip hop. Yeah. I make them bigger by getting into this thing where I'm like, I want to destroy him.
But I'm finally glad that he went out of his shell and decided to respond and show these people that, you just can't talk shit on people and not get a response. But back to the Machine Gun Kelly thing, I think, he went after him because he knows Machine Gun Kelly lyrical and he'll get responsive out of it. So I'm not sure if Eminem's going to come out with a response. People say, oh, he only took 2 days to respond to Eminem, and now Eminem taking 2 weeks. He sucks, he's a scrub, now he's washed up. I don't think that is. Eminem can come out anytime with a new song whenever he feels like, and he can respond whenever he feels like. I think it was great that Kamikaze was a silent release, because as you've seen with Revival, there was a lot of people saying, oh, we had this fake track list, and they were like, oh, this fake track list is great. And then the real track list leaks, and then people are like, this shit's going to suck. So I think with having a silent release, like Eminem said on Sway and everybody, it didn't give people a chance to really, form an opinion. So they had to go right into it and listen to all the music at once. Now, do I think people like Lil Pump and Lil Yachty are going to, respond to this? I don't think so, because they would get verbally abused on any type of track. If Eminem, did a full hit him up diss track towards them, or if he acted like them, and did a trap, diss, like a mumble rap diss, I think it would destroy him no matter what, because these people don't write their own lyrics, and they can't even make, a proper 16-bar verse. So I think it's great that he called them out, because he called them out on their bullshit. If you're going to be a rapper, you got to know how to freestyle. You got to know how to, make a 16 bar verse or 32 bar verse or whatever and have it properly rhyme. And that's the problem with today's generation of rappers, is they don't know how to make anything really rhyme on their songs like the 90s rappers and 80s rappers once did. So I really do honestly think this is a great way for hip hop to come back to a lyrical standpoint. I don't think trap is just going to fade out, but I think, if Eminem keeps coming at these rappers, because he's the only one with really clout to do it, I don't really see 50 Cent or anyone else going after rappers like this. But I think if Eminem goes after them, and there is a response maybe from Drake, it might help, music shift back to lyrics and ability, and not just, people in the background telling you what to say, people in the background writing for you, and, the industry telling you, oh, we got to have this, pop friendly song where we repeat the same five words, about popping pills or whatever. Now, on to my thing about Charlemagne and Joe Buttons. Now, I just love when people like Charlemagne, were on his show and they said, oh, this revival shit is trash. It's not lyrical or nothing. What has Charlemagne ever done? He had one release on 2006 or 2008 that no one's really heard of. He's never, won platinum. He's never sold. He's never even went gold, really. I think his album sold probably under 1,000 copies, maybe 10,000. I don't know. But, he's never going to sell 85 million records. So for Eminem to take criticism from someone like that about his lyrics when the industry's filled with a bunch of people saying Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, whatever, and my pootie tang, whatever. So, how can he critique lyrics when rap is so dumbed down now, where everybody repeats the same words? Even Nicki Minaj repeats the same words over and over and over again. So you can't really, criticize Eminem if he's having more mellowish type lyrics and not having, full rap god in every fucking song. And then there's Joe Budden, which, complained that, oh, I signed the Aftermath and I thought he was going to make, the lights brighter for me. Well, what the fuck? He did a couple features for you guys and you're still complaining. Now, I do understand that, if he made a song and I went to the engineer and they said, okay, we got to change this beat, or we got to remove this verse, or maybe he called up Eminem and they couldn't get a verse, which is kind of surprising because Eminem has so many unreleased songs. They could just take a song from an unreleased song and plopped it on a new beat, so I don't get that point. But, I don't really understand why Joe Budden, is crying about not blowing up. He already had his time in 2003. He can't expect to stay relevant for 15, 20 years like most rappers like Eminem or Tupac or Biggie have done. So I honestly think Joe Budden's just butthurt that he didn't blow up to be a mainstream rapper and be out there like some of these rappers today. But around 2010, 2011, it was still declining from going from lyricism to mumble rap. But also the funny thing about that is Joe Budden don't even want to respond. He says he's retired now, but then he's still critiquing rappers and saying about their lyrics, about everything. How can he critique a rapper if you're retired and you probably never even went diamond, at all? You probably had one hit song and you're trying to critique a legend, an icon that's sold 85, 90 million records. I don't think that's really fair. You're just butthurt that your career didn't explode even more when you were signed to Slaughterhouse. When you were a part of Slaughterhouse and signed to Shitty Aftermath. But if he can't come out of retirement and really do a diss, then, he should really keep his mouth shut, because, Eminem just called you out on a record, and if you're too pussy to respond, then that's on you. So there's no reason to keep responding on your little radio show to get clickbait and views if you're not going to respond in a song. I don't know if I'm going to edit that out. That might be too much. So, alright guys, I think I babbled on too much. I didn't want to do a full review of the songs. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I just really, I'm happy that the MGK Eminem, diss, and battle beef might come to fruition, because it might help shift music with a message again, music with lyrical build again. I'm not sure if it's going to completely fade everything out of mumble rap, but it might help get more lyricists noticed in the rap industry. So thanks again. Be sure to check out my other vlogs. I'm going to have more in the future about, Thug Life, Tupac's unreleased albums, a review of All Eyes on Me, and maybe I might do a review of Unsolved as well. So peace out. She's so scandalous.
All you niggas out there, beware these lying ass scandalous bitches. They will leave your ass on E.